Hey, what's going on? And welcome to the Stafford Boxing Report. Sheila here.
Big Stafford in the house.
Big Stafford in the house.
Stafford Boxing.
The making of champions.
Yes, sir.
What's going on? What's going on?
What's
Thank
going
you
on,
for
everybody?
being here today. Those who are with
Sherski.
us now and going to be watching and listening later. So, guess who we have today?
Man, we got a champ. That's what we got.
A champion.
Yes,
Miss
sir.
Kylie Fulmer, who is the current WBF Women's Intercontinental Super Bantamweight World Champion. 7-2
and 6 knockouts.
and 6
Bang,
knockouts.
bang, bang. Bang,
You know what it is. Everybody, give it up to Miss Kylie Fulmer.
Yes, sir.
Hey, hey, hey,
hey. Hey guys, how you doing?
Amazing. We're
It's
so excited
nice
to
to
have you today. Thank you for being on the Stafford Boxing Report.
The making of champions.
Of course.
Thank you.
You have one.
Yeah.
It fits perfectly.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. I love her voice, though. Her accent's fly.
We hear you guys, and they say, I love your accent. I'm like, Americans don't normally think that if you come out to Australia, we think.
Oh, you think our accent funny?
Yeah, you guys don't think you have an accent, but you do. You're definitely a standout.
I appreciate that too.
Yeah, so baby, go ahead and get with Kylie, man, because we're glad to have you on the show.
I know. We're gonna tag team you today with the questions.
Mm-hmm.
So what we want to know is, and the viewers and everybody around the world, what's going on with some upcoming fights that you're going to be having?
I've just been in camp now. We've got a couple of coming up that we'll be fighting on. I think both will be on ESPN. Same concept, and we'll be fighting every. And the other one, which I think we'll be fighting probably every. So next year is going to be action.
Briefly, if you could put both of your ear things in,
Yes.
because it's kind of got like echo. Yeah. Is that better? Is that better? Say
something.
Yeah, can you hear?
Yeah, it's kind of in and out, but we try to make it work. So if you could say that again, because we couldn't really hear you, it was going in and out.
Yeah, so we've just been working towards, there's 2 reality shows, both filmed in Las Vegas. It's something completely different. And fighting every 2 weeks. The other one's show next year. They'll both be on ESPN networks. So it's going to be here and lots of fights happening. We're in out of the ring every 2 to 3 weeks.
So are you saying that the reality TV show or series that you're going to be on, you're going to be you have to fight every 2 weeks?
Basically, this new called Team Combat League, and there's per team. We're called so you're fighting different states. There's 18 in a team, and they're 3-minute rounds because normally we're just 2. And yeah, we'll be fighting every 2 weeks. Mexico also are in there, so it's going to be something that I'm pretty sure it's going to be with great exposure for for all the on there.
Now, who's doing the TV reality? What is it? Is it called Celebrity: The Making of a Champion? Is that
Yeah,
what
so
it's called?
it is. There's a lot of big names and fighters, coaches, refs. Got some huge names coming through on there. Happy to be a part of that one and be picked. I think I don't know. You know, telling us all quite sure that starts in June next year. Money's $1 million for the females and $1 million for the guys. So it's pretty cool that we can get in there and in the ring, but also reality, what we actually go through as fighters and the lifestyle, to get to that outside of the fight. I guess that's what um, it's looking forward to that one also.
I actually like that concept because people, the viewers, well, the veterans in the boxing game, they know what's going on, but there's a lot of new viewers that watch our podcast that know nothing about boxing. So to actually how they're actually having that reality TV series is actually perfect, like the day in the life of what a boxer goes through. Now, you mentioned it was going to be 3 minutes. How do you feel about that 3 minutes? Because in the boxing industry, Amanda Serrano has brought up, we want to have 3 minutes. So how is that? How do you feel about that?
Endurance athletes, so and the longer they are, the composed I feel. So I think it's a great thing for the women. For Team Combat League, it's the 2 minutes. There's Coach Dewey always makes a 30 seconds rest in. So once you get that one, in the break, it really feels like, we train. Um, I think when you put, I think women's boxing would be great for us all to have 3 minute rounds.
I do too. So let me ask you this. Being a female fighter, an athlete, a champion, what are some things when it comes to female fighters? What are some things that you believe that could benefit females? We already know we talk about pay equality, which is one of those things. But is there anything that we may not know that you should see a change which will make it better and somewhat easier for female fighters within the boxing industry?
I guess the platform lately, these big fights we've had, it's really given the women the exposure and start and get these high profile fights. The girls can show. If anything, I think they're so excited. The girls have to go out there and put so we can get back on some of these big undercards. I really like the way women's boxing's going and names and some good girls coming through out of the amateur. I hear that the Olympics, I think it's 28. I heard a few days ago in the Olympics anymore. So to see what the pros turn into. I know most people dedicate their life to come to the pro scene. So important now what these girls especially and I am at the moment she's preparing for a world title. over in Dubai and just about here in Vegas as well, and really good things out there too. So I'm happy the way it's going, and I just think we did and share and share there as much as the guys also.
Gotcha. Now, what were your thoughts with the Savannah and Marshall fight in at the O2 Arena, the all-female cards? What was your feelings about that finally happening?
Let's see, both girls are warriors. I've both of those girls out here in Vegas gym and watched them sparring, and they can turn up and war and walk out. Know they've done women proud, and know they're it's just great to see. We need more of them. We just hope it keeps building.
Facts, facts. Okay, so let's go back, and then I know you have some questions too.
No, go ahead, Flo.
So let's go back to the beginning, your journey. A lot of times, like my husband has said a few times, when people see somebody doing certain things or is at a certain place, some people may say, "Oh, I want to be right where that person is," or "I want to be like that person," not knowing their journey and what it was that they had to go through to get to where they are now. That's why I wanted to start from what you're doing now, your plans, your future plans, to how your journey has started. So I know that you are from Australia. Do you pronounce it Bathurst?
Bathurst.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, Bathurst is a super small little. I grew up in. There was probably only about 30. It's about plan from Sydney, Australia. Place to grow up, but love sport and started, five. My dad got us into swimming, swam right through the age of like, started for my asthma to keep my two sisters and I were top level of sport in and that's where the sort of the passion for being an athlete took over in in the.
So you've gone from those particular sports to boxing, which is way different because you're in the middle of a square, constantly throwing punches, your defense. And let me tell you something. You're a bad girl. I watched your fight. I have watched your training. Like your footwork is awesome. Like you are so stable. You cut the ring, you have power punches, your jabs, your counters. I mean, just everything about you. And you know what? I was so impressed. I really was. I was so impressed. So, baby, you know what? You ask a few questions because I'm going to let my husband ask a few questions because of the journey that you were on and that you're still on. And some of the things that you said, I do believe resonated with my husband because of the journey and some of the things that other people have said to you, which I'm sure they said to her. So I'm passing the microphone to my husband.
Stop. First of all, I would say it's truly a blessing and honor to have you on the Stafford Boxing Report. In all actuality, you are our first female fighter on the Stafford Boxing Report, and we greatly appreciate that. And with any dream vision that ones have, uh, there are a lot of hardships that comes with pursuing your dream and visions. A lot of times, family members may not, only agree or support up to a certain point, but then after that, then you're on your own. I just want you to share with us what keeps you going in spite of, you not having the totals. Well, I'm not. Well, I don't really know your personal side, but what is it that keeps you going towards your vision, towards your dreams, in spite of facing hardships?
You know what? That's a really great question. But first, have me on the show. I've been watching what you guys do for, and you know, a boxing. It's deeper than I'm a boxer because um, I'm a boxer. I don't like to do, but boxing for me, it's deeper for me. Um, I love because it gives me a purpose. Um, you you get up, get your ass out of bed, and um, that's really the main reason that I started boxing. I started very late at the age of 27, and I just pulled on the gloves and fell in love with it. I would never call myself. I always, always just have a laugh and say, um, you know, but I had in fitness and I wanted to be, you know, existent. I don't want to just. I'm not normal. Like to be normal. It's boring. Keeps me out of my comfort zone, and I want to just be complacent and content in life. To get in there and get up every day, get into that ring. It's very. That's what makes us keep aiming to. I don't want to be here tomorrow. So um, at the end of the day, it's never been about belts in the ring in general. It's about personal goals. It's me versus me. That's what I love about the sport. If you um, to to life, what you do with boxing every day. So, and that's what keeps me going.
I was, watching my wife as she prepared for this interview, and she was, having come across some things that I thought was interesting. And one of the things that she said, that you came to America with like $1,000 in your pocket, and then there were times where you would have to go across seas to fight, just to earn money. I would like for you to share with us like the type of mental toughness that one must have to be able to continue on fighting to just earn money to live.
Yeah, and that again. Let's come from Australia. I had a quite a. I used to look after big super yachts and boats in Australia, and my business grew. I think 2000. Um, and it's funny in life this because people in general can understand it. You can be asset before I started boxing well, but I felt like I didn't know what I wanted and where I wanted to be. You can all turn up and do a job every day and do things, but something's missing in here. When I was forced to go bankrupt, I found that everything can you lose a lot of people that you think are really you've only got a handful of people ones, So from my business and started uh, I fell in love with the sport, started traveling and um, you know, stay in Australia and get another job and take off with a backpack, a big heart, and and I a few years later, I'd already got up to my 15, 20 fights and realised that I was no longer asset. You know, I went from being so poor, the Philippines and Thailand, and I looked at nothing but my training gear. I was there because I found my passion and in life, and that to me is would not ever replace or materialistic items for the memories I've and and you know, you don't find fighting, and it's such a true thing, you know. And I think about what he said, and it really hits. Um, it's a journey. The events that you've been with on the world, or I've been have $40 or $50 in your pocket. Shit, I don't want to go home. You know, like I'm going to go and train here, amount of money to get there. So, it's like, okay, what can I do? Like that money to whether I go training yachts or painting or doing to find those dollars to get through. Like that to me is that's what keeps you hungry. And when you get into you don't, an option, because if you lose, you know your nation. So um, it's been almost 8 years, I think, since you've got to find your way. If any champion's going to find it, depends how bad you want it. Like, do you want to give up normal and just be existing and doing five? For me, that's a no. I don't want to be that. I want to be something different, because I know at the end of the day, and I can speak about that right, you're finally starting to come together out here in America, in Vegas, the past 7 years, and it's all led here for a reason. My feet are finally starting to ground of opportunities coming up with these reality team around me, a great ships of friendships and different. It just makes me look back at tough times and all those times to scratch my head and go, what am you could go home and have an amazing life. You could have your friends and family around. I choose to I'm the one that chose to put myself in that comfort. Keep pushing, because I knew that everything has not fallen in front of me, is to live at it, because that's what I've, and now it's here. I'm ready to grab it both these next 12 months coming up. I'm the greatest, and I can't wait to give it 110%, and uh, it's just going to, I'm going to get what all that work. It's exciting times.
So
I was listening so deep in the conversation, I almost couldn't even move.
Yeah, I was just like, man. So what's your diet like? Because you being at that weight class, you must have a strict diet. So I wanted to know, like, are you a lot of protein, carbs? Do you drink a lot of water? What are your supplements like? Do you cheat with junk food, etc.? I know you as a boxer, in order to perform at the highest level, your diet must be a certain way. Eating certain foods definitely give you energy and helps with the endurance in a fight match as well as in training. So what's your diet like?
You know what? I've had every single thing. You get 112 for Olympics at the time. I was fighting amateurs for that division. I used to do silly things.
Kylie, can you do me a
Um,
favor? Can you take the headphones off? Because I think it just been going in and out. So we want to try to get a
yep, I got
clear.
you.
Let me see. How about that? Let me see. Talk now.
Is that better?
Yeah, it's better, but it's just a little low. But yeah, could just talk.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you a little bit better.
Yeah, so I've tried every single diet that you can possibly imagine. You know, when I was fighting 112, I used to do crazy things like live off food to cut the weight, you know, and after all these years, just found that it's a lifestyle again. I don't I don't eat a lot of junk food, but if I feel like I just eat it, you know. But um, I think it is a tough weight come fight time when I'm in camp. I know that it's time to cut out all meals and everything just to get to that, you know, to get to that magic number. It's the last 1 or 2 pounds that, you know, um, after 8 to 10 years, I've just found a way to balance, and I think it's the last 1 or 2 weeks that, you know, really make a difference to everything. But I don't think there's any shortcuts. You've got a big hand and just keep it that way as a lifestyle.
What is the bantam weight? How much do you have to weigh?
So 122. So it's like 54 kilos in Australian. We go off kilos, but then I walk around at say 132. So it's about um, coming to fight time and into camps.
Do you see yourself a lot of times, like Amanda has, she has won in different divisions. Is that something that you want to do, or would you prefer just to stay in bantamweight?
No, absolutely. Any weight. If an opportunity come up and it's um, you know, achievable and we can go up or down, I'll look at that and work with it. We can adapt to that. But boxing's just so hard. I've been inactive the last 12, 15 months. I haven't had a fight. I'm looking forward to getting back in the ring and see and staying active. Um, the weight division for the team combats, so I'm actually going up in weight, which is great for me because I walk around at 132 anyway. So fighting every two to keep, you know, probably 10% above that weight all the time. I'll be walking around at 128, 130, and just the ones to train to fight, not train to lose weight, because that's where I think a lot up. You know, they're training to lose weight and they're not focused on actually fighting. So yeah.
Is there somebody specifically that you have in mind that you would like to get into the ring with?
You know what? No, there's no. You know, if an opportunity comes up and we've done the time and the camp, um, ready. You know, I think I've just come off 2 losses out in Australia, but I can honestly say that I just think, you know, my last fight with Taylor Robinson, a great fight, but not being hit with my team. I, you know, I was undefeated with Dewey when I was back here in Vegas, and not mentally ready, and you've got self doubt. You've lost before you even get into the ring. I just find, you know, we all struggle and battle with demons as far as I know I wasn't mentally prepared or ready to fight, but I've never knocked back a fight. It's COVID, you never know what was going to happen. So the greatest, like, Helen Joseph, Shannon O'Connell, I've still out of the Mayweather gym. Taylor Robinson's just won a world title this weekend in Australia. But every person's an opportunity, and that makes you realise, yeah, we all hate losing. It's not a nice thing to lose, but as long as you learn, and I'm not going to give up and just walk away on a loss. I want to finish on a high, and that's why I've come back in Dewey and at BKSS, and I've been putting in the work to get the pin and break those bad habits. I got over 2 years being out and put the hard work in, and we'll see the results next year.
Facts.
I wanted to ask you, have you had an opportunity to train at Floyd Mayweather's boxing gym?
I have. So I come out here in 2016. Before I had $1,000 in a backpack. I come out here, so I wanted to do some sparring and prepare myself the best I could for the Olympic trials. And I come to Vegas for a weekend. Such a that thing to watch a friend in a bodybuilding comp, and I ended up out Sahara, just a small fitness gym. Was jet lagged, got a lag, and this little girl come over to me, and she's trying to teach me the Nene dance. I had a laugh with her, and I'm like, look, white girls can't dance, so I was going to laugh, and she was having a having a talk to me, and come over, and he's like, what are you training so hard for? And I told him I actually had a big black eye, just won a silver medal over there, my first international comp. And what's your downfall? And I said, defense. Defense is my downfall. And he goes, well, my son's the greatest fighter of all time, and I'm the greatest coach. And that was Floyd Senior. And I was quite embarrassed because and he goes, look, I like that about you. I like the fact that, he put me on the pads, and I had some time with him, and very short, it was one thing led to another, and he picked me up the next time. Being an amateur boxer at that time, I was beside myself. I where I was standing, and a week later, I had the opportunity to versus USA, and I jumped in and Lloyd's gym. I had an American Olympic coach and corner, and we stopped the Irish girl in the first round with a body shot. That led to me staying out here and turning pro, and later here we are.
Wow, that's an incredible journey. Like I like your grit, like your determination. Like you remind me of like a game dog that just keeps scratching. Every time you break them up and you trying to let them go, you just bam, you just keep on. And I think that's is a reflection of your life. Like the things that you've been through in your life, you fight like that to keep going. So when you was talking about how you had like a black eye, but you continue to get back in the boxing ring and you continue to train and so forth and so forth. I just want to know, like, from a mental standpoint, has this been like a huge drainage on your mental aspect? Because in boxing, you got to be very sharp. And so, like, sometimes life experiences can definitely, take away some of that mental sharpness. So I wanted you to kind of explain what are the things that you do to stay mental sharp in spite of you facing things outside of the boxing ring.
Great question.
You know what? That's a great question because I really believe you become what you surround. Our environment and the people we place ourselves around is a huge reflection on what's happening. I know that out here being undefeated, I was undefeated, like I said, 5 years with Coach Dewey. Um, he's the one that actually turned me pro. He grabbed me, sort of asked when I was fighting, and I turned around and said, "Oh, I don't have any sparring. You know, girls that are huge. They were different weight classes." And he stuck with Dewey because I've always been an underdog in the ring. Love the way Dewey trained people. He brings that hunger out inside you. And if I wasn't training, I was sitting and watching and listening. And I would rather be the worst fighter in the best gym because you can only become, if you're around people that are at your level or you can't learn from them, waste of time. How are you gonna improve? So being around team, it's been a huge thing for me because you're surrounded by greatness of Dewey, and we've got all the coaches at our gym. So with One Kicks Gym, we've got the likes of Francis Ngannou, we've got Kevin. We've not only got boxers, we've got MMA, we've got K1, we've got. I look at all these guys and I'm like, if I can run these mountains that are in their early 20s, they're all world-class athletes, can be on their tail, and I know that I deserve to be here. The day that I can't go home to Australia, I'll hang up the gloves. But for now, ages, I'm 40, I feel like I'm 30. Um, we do what they do, keep up with the guys and do the same programs and the same day in, day out with Dewey. Well, he can't be on me. So um, it's all, like I was saying, and to be out here in Vegas, so I'm so out of my comfort zone, keeps me mentally focused. When I went back to Australia, I feel like I wasn't in a. I don't think anyone was a little bit all over the shop, but if I was back here with my coach Dewey and I had my mind right and no self-doubt, I know I've done the work, I've done the team, um, I've done the sparring. Coach Dewey always says to us, celebration for your hard work and dedication. And it's so true because we didn't have any doubts. I've got those two behind me. They're like warriors. I said that I've already won the fight because I've seen it visually. And so my last fight, I didn't have that. I didn't feel that. And I'm glad I felt that. It is hard being an undefeated fighter with the pressure that you either make it or break it and you stay undefeated. It'll be a blessing because I've learned not only in the ring but in life in general. And it's helped me face my own inner demons and other things out. I had to look at myself and make changes to be better. Yeah, that's where we're at right now. I'm looking forward to getting back in and
I love everything that you have just said. It really resonates. I know it's going to resonate with everybody else who's watching. And one of the things that I really respect is that you have a great team. And that's what we talk about on here too, is that a lot of times female fighters, they don't have that great team where everybody knows their place and they know what it is that they need to do. And I also listened to Coach Dewey one time, and I love him. He has like the best energy, the greatest energy. I can see how he can pull certain things out of you when need to be. And I'm just, your story, everything that you've said, it was almost like I was memorized. I was just frozen, just listening to you. And I'm so glad that we've been able to talk to you today because it's a learning
It
experience,
really is.
a learning experience for everybody.
I look at these last years that have gone past, and out there and put a big smile on, and I treat people how I want to be treated because you hope most of the time it doesn't, and that's okay. If we all go through life and what someone else is facing, so my biggest thing with boxing right now, in this part of the career, I know I've got physically and mentally with doing. When I come back here from Australia, I didn't believe in myself. I lost that belief and I lost a little bit of myself, um, just because we all go through it. When I got back and I went back to Dewey, he's like, he just knows. Walk in there and you don't have to say anything to him, but he can see in your eyes. I believe the eyes are the way to a person's soul. Like you can look at somebody and know where they're at mentally, body language of what they're facing in life. And for me to come back here and pull on those and face my own demons and know that it's me versus me, huge transition in my life. And Coach Dewey, I'm so grateful for because he makes those things that you're facing mute. It's like he's like and makes it fade. You know, he brings back your confidence and that's back here in Vegas and my biggest I want to inspire youth. I want to. It's not about care less about it. For me, it's about stepping up there on that platform and showing whether it's boxing or whatever they do in life that not to give up when things get hard, and face your own inner demons and whatever you're going through, and tell yourself that you can do it. Believe in yourself and get out there. And because if we give up, you've lost. You know, it's sink or swim. I'm never going to sink. I've got to get back up. You've got to recreate, and you've got to keep pushing forward. If I can tell this story, especially with these reality shows and amazing platforming, I know you're huge on mental health awareness, and that's why I love your page. Right now would be to go onto these reality shows and show people and share my journey. I've got a tattoo on my arm that says "Fall down 7 times, stand up 8." Japanese proverb. Life's a roller coaster. It's full of ups and downs. We all face it. The vision right now and my goal is to get on these reality shows and show people that it's not just about belts and other fighters. You know, I want to be great too, but it's not about just boxing. It's about getting these through the same lows and making them understand that get up and keep pushing. And that's my goal, especially with youth, young women, that's that if you can help one and just give them some gift, that's world title to me. That's winning. And
You heard what the champion said. Don't give up.
If you fall down 7, get back on the 8th one. Real talk.
She has created her own opportunities, so I hope everybody was taking notes because she gave some great gold nuggets.
Yeah. Can I ask you one more question?
Yes.
Okay. So when boxing is all said and done for you, what do you want to be remembered in the boxing industry? What will your legacy be?
you know what my legacy would be to to legacy would be to create, you know, a vision for young people when someone to use that as fuel and get up and show them how great. Because through most of my life, I've tried so many different sports. You know, I always swimming, triathlons. Like I could never get to that elite level where I felt like I'm being the greatest at the top. And I found boxing, and I never even expected to travel and do the things that I've done. Or I believe that I could, and it wasn't because I believe that I could be great at something if I applied myself to it and kept consistency. So for me, my legacy would be that, to believe in yourself and just to keep pushing. Social media bullshit says, or what people think or their judgment, that's the biggest stand for me. We're not no stereotype. Don't put yourself in a box. It just doesn't matter. Just be you and go out there and be the best you can.
Facts. You know, Lady Tiger, she's going to be watching this too. We always talk about her.
What's up, Lady Tiger? We love you for real.
Yeah, she said she's going to watch it later.
Great things, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing her have another great year as well.
Yes, yes. Whew, I'm excited. I had a great conversation. This was like one of the best ones that we've had.
Yeah. You was a great guest on the show. You gave us a lot of insight into the journey of a fighter who's willing to attack their demons head on and not give up, understanding your weakness and your strengths, understanding how important your team is to your success, understanding about in order to grow, sometimes you must get out your comfort zone. So by you leaving Australia and coming to Las Vegas, Nevada, that is what's allowing you to really grow because you're not comfortable. I don't know if you said it, I may have missed it, but I wanted to ask you, when you go home to Australia, how does your mother and your father and your sisters respond to you being away so long in pursuit of finding true happiness within yourself through the sport of boxing?
Great question.
That's a great question because I'm so close. My dad is my best mate. He's been with me every single day. Mum and dad, you know, and Mum hates watching the fights. She doesn't watch it because and you know, my dad, he lives through it, and also I've got two sisters, so I know when I go home, I love being at home, and I love Australia. I'm so proud to be an Australian. I love my country, but I get too complacent, and I'm too back home. I have everything that I possibly could, you know, like coming out here or in Chinatown, I had nothing, you know, like I chose, and for the first few months, I didn't even tell my mum and dad. Like they just thought, oh yeah, she's got the nice the stuff. I didn't tell them because I didn't want them to worry or and for my well-being. I did that for a reason, and it gave me the hunger to keep going. And why I get in there, and it's a different switch. Like my ring name's Killer Kylie ring, but you get me in there, and something just turns. It's a different. We've also, for my mum and dad, you know, they're very happy for me to be out here, to stay here now and set myself up. I'm not planning to time soon. You know, I've grounded my feet out here, and I've got a great relay around me that are very close. They're like family, and here, so
I feel like I haven't been this happy for a long time, and my mum and dad can, and they give me their full blessings to stay out here and make a life for myself. And I start my EMT course to be to become a firefighter, serve out here. I'd be proud to pull on the American uniform and serve for Las Vegas Fire. That's my new goal for the future and a life after boxing. It's going to take me probably 8 months to finish these courses, but I know now that I can do those and doing my study for the EMT, and it's all a stepping to finish my career on a high, and also going to some motivational speaking. I really want to try and build my own platform so I can, help and inspire others to, be better, to make their life better, and not just settle, just make something. So mum and dad, I could not be happier, and I'll go home regularly to go and see them. But right now, Vegas is home.
So,
We have to keep in touch, Kylie.
yeah,
We got to keep in touch, especially because with our mentoring program too,
yeah,
and the young ladies that we have on there. So we would love for you
I'm actually
to be a part of.
I'm looking for ways that I can time and grow myself, build that platform. At the moment of how you can build a program to help other people. Like it's something to have all these ideas in your mind, but you don't actually know how to build a program, how to help people. This is a big transitional thing for me right now too. When I'm again, like, it's like boxing. You're looking for mentors. You're looking for amazing people doing great things with kids that I want to be a part of as different athletes or female fighters that would jump aboard if there was great platforms to help the future of the sport coming through.
yeah, we definitely would like to, whenever you come this way to Atlanta, we definitely hope that we can connect with you and you can just, not only talk about, females from your perspective in boxing, but you can also share some things about life that these young kids can definitely, need to hear from you, being that you done gone through that. I got one more question, and that question is, what is the hardest thing that you face since becoming a professional female boxer?
You're on a roll.
That's a good
Appreciate
question.
it. Appreciate it.
Seeing is to keep going, because especially when you get to the top, it's like you get that belt, and I've always dreamed winning a title or winning a belt. But when you actually get there, and it's like things in general with people. Like, you can go through life and you have one destination, but you miss the journey of actually getting there. And when you get it, you feel like that, like when you get to the top, you've got a target on you, and everyone want to be there. They want to defeat you so they can take it. Fights, and that was a tough thing, not as an egotistic way, but to show inner self what you actually go through as an identity. Also, like, what's life going to be after? All the social media bullying, all the things that you go through, like times that you're not a robot, you're actually a person, and the people right because they've
Hey, look at here, Kylie. You ain't about to cry, is you?
tears here. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm like, man, you got me about to cry because I'm looking. I'm like, is she about? Is her eyes getting watery?
No,
But that's good that when you talk about your story, you talk with it with the emotions, and you have an effect on me. Even I'm looking through the screen. I'm like, man, she, like So it really amplifies what you're saying. Like, okay, the process of getting to the top, getting that belt, and then once I get that belt, all the hating start coming, to just kind of take it away. But my focus got to be on the process, if I heard you correctly.
It's all the process. You got to trust the process, and you have these downtimes and that's why there's no way in hell I'm going to give up on a low, bounce back, and you've got to create the legacy. Like I want to create the legacy and finish my career. People, it's well worth not giving up. And for me, it's not. I couldn't care less. These reality shows that I'm going through at the moment, they're doing. Oh, what do you want to be? It's like I couldn't care less. I don't want to be the greatest or whatever. It's better and how to inspire youth and other people to forget all the hate, all of the bullshit that comes with it, and just focus on you. And because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter about what they think. So, and just focus on yourself. And that's the message I want to give. Or any belt, it doesn't mean anything. It's about the mental mindset. And there's some people out there. If you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say it. Because you're.
So you're when you were talking about the bullying and the disrespect, a lot of times you do see fighters, they're going back and forth on Twitter or whatever social media platform it is. But with you, because you said that you just have to, I guess, have tunnel vision, that's just something that you're not interested in doing with going back and forth with people, trying to prove a point. That's pretty much what you're saying.
Yeah, it's a different point. With obviously boxing's a business, especially the pros. It's a business. People want to be entertained. You've got to draw a line and have a boundary of how far you want to go. Like, yeah, I want to show you've got charisma. You can entertain. You can show up, and you're going to make it exciting. For the end of the day, you need to realize you need to turn it off and not take it personal. Don't have emotion. Don't take it personal because that's the bit that crumbles you and can make it a make or break. A lot of the guys go into these fights and they've done so much trash talk, and you see them and they can't even look at the other person in the eye because they've already lost. They lost, and the quiet one that said nothing stands there and stares straight through because they couldn't care less. They're there to do the job. They've done the work. They haven't been up keyboard warring on the internet for most of the camp, and they turn on it. That to me is a champion because they don't need to speak. We've got so get in there and let these talk. And
She said, "Let these talk."
Let these talk. Bang,
You're
bam,
gonna do a
bam.
lot of talking.
For real.
Woo!
Hey, baby, I wanted to ask Kylie, do she have her belt on hand?
Oh, ask her.
Oh, do you have your belt on hand?
I don't. I left it with my dad in Australia. I'll tell you a funny story, just a quick one. But I looked around, many house when I went bankrupt, and I lost everything. I lost a relationship, and I thought, if you were to die tomorrow, would you be content with what you've done in life? Hell no. Like I've done nothing. I haven't traveled. I've done nothing. Like I don't even. And then 6 years 6 years ago when I won, or what was it? And I was on the plane heading home to Australia, and I looked down. I had the belt, and I thought, if this plane was to crash right now, would you be content again? And I looked around the plane. And I thought, hell yeah, I would be so traveled. I've done everything. So now every day is a bonus, and to go on my dad and mum's wall, that was the greatest achievement of my life because it's about me believing in myself and taking home that accomplishment that I've done. They weren't with me physically, but they were with me in here every fight. I was at the airport trying to think I'll go home or give up, and they're like, don't do it, hey, keep going. I give that belt to my mum and dad, and it's going to stick because they earn it with me, and they're my motivation to be great also.
That's what's up, man. I mean,
Whew.
hey, double salute to you, man, for real. And we are once again we are grateful for your presence, your time to share with us about your journey, your upcoming fights, and the reality show. I learned a lot about you as an individual today. What I learned is someone is willing to go after their dreams, go after their vision, no matter what anybody says, and to be a professional and to understand that boxing is a business, but at the same time, there's a certain type of line that you shouldn't cross. The other thing that I learned from you today is that you are mental sharp and you are mentally strong, and I greatly appreciate that about you and respect. And I think that you're going to be an inspiration for so many young girls who wants to enter into the boxing industry. And you know what you're going through is not for you; it's for the next person that's coming behind you. And we definitely need role models and inspirations like yourself for at-risk youth, girls who may come up in broken homes, or girls who may not have a father or have a mother. And oftentimes it be the mentors that comes into those children's life that make the bigger impact, and it has a long-term effect on them. And I just want to say, man, I wish you all the best.
Yes.
I think that you have your heart right. I think your mind is where it's supposed to be. And I think that you're going to continue to have success. If me and Sheila were your parents, we would be extremely proud of you and honored to be able to call you our daughter.
Thank you so much. I love what you guys are about. I love what you're doing, and I love watching all your because you're both so passionate again, and it's like anything. It's a reflection on everything that you post because you've had some amazing and you all have meaning to what everyone's talking. It hits my heart with the mentoring and the kids. That's the biggest thing. It would be an absolute pleasure to come a part of what you guys have got going on your next events, and I'll be there.
Give our viewers any one of your social media platforms if they want to follow you and know what you're doing and what's going on.
Yeah, just probably Instagram's the best one. It's just Kylie_Fulmer, and that's really my main platform. A few new ones I think called Clubhouse, which is an athlete TV reality shows will be on, but I'll put all those links on Instagram, so go across there, and once they're on ESPN, I know that they're a great network, and on an international broadcast, those messages out there to everyone and kids.
Gotcha.
Man,
I think she answered everything.
yeah. Hey, you know what? We're gonna have to send up. Hey, look at here, Kylie. We got our boxing club wristbands. So we're gonna have to send you one. So when you go on the reality show, you can give us a little shout out to the Stafford Boxing Club because we pushing P. And once again, I just want to say thank you so much.
Yes.
I mean, like your spirit is amazing.
And you are so humble.
Yeah, humble.
And you're easy to talk to.
Easy.
I knew we were going to have a connection as soon as we started following each other on Instagram. A lot of times some people just don't, for whatever reason, they have their right.
Yeah.
But when you accepted my, following invitation back, I was like, okay, yeah.
And you're about your business
Yeah.
too. That's the other thing. Like you and before we go, I just want to
And
say,
loyal.
and yeah, you definitely loyal. I definitely can see that in you. The other thing is like you respected the Stafford boxing report. It wasn't like we didn't reach out to some of the other boxers and other people, whatever, and they looked down on us, right? But at the same time, it's cool though, because when you first starting off in anything, you always gonna have a tough time. But as you stay consistent, which you know about, eventually you'll get to that mountaintop. So we just are grateful that you are able to be a part of our success, part of our growth. But I just want to say thank you for really taking the Stafford boxing report. Like if it was a ESPN interview or some other major network, you know what I mean? Skyline?
Skybox.
Yeah, Skybox boxing. I think that's it. But I apologize. But however, I just want to say thank you so much for just respecting us and giving us your I mean, just your attention. Like you didn't like brush it off. Nah, that's some trash or whatever. You get what I'm saying? You didn't do that. And so for that reason, we will always be a fan of yours. We will always tune in each and every time you are on any type of network. We will continue to support you and know that you got, a husband and a wife, standing behind you. You got the Stafford boxing, bang, 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 the making of champions. We behind you because you are a champion.
Facts.
No, it's funny. I just want to drop a little thing in there because you say that about, there's level. That's so important with what you just said. Like, so many people put themselves like you're on different levels. So I know with the belts, there's all different levels. Like I've got a teammate Jamie who's got a WBA, WBC. There's so many, but at the end, it's just doing the best you can. And for me, expect belts or go and travel or do these things that I've done, that I have accomplished. You started this amazing network and building platforms for yourself, like how people can look down and say, oh, you've only got such followers, but today you have so much passion, and the most important thing is you're helping to keep us, and that's the bit that connected me with you guys, because it's bigger than boxing. We're to achieve the things that we want, and I instantly couldn't accept the invitation quick enough because I love what you're about, and keep going because you're doing it. Look forward to getting on here in another 12 months when you guys are taking over at the top.
For sure.
I look
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Well, Miss Sheila, it's been a wonderful
Facts.
time fellowshipping
Facts.
with Miss Kylie, the champ.
Facts.
Any last words before we get up out of here, Miss Kylie?
No, you guys are awesome, and keep doing watching all your future posts come up.
Well, that's it, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
We out of here. Stafford Boxing.
The making of champions.
Yes, sir, Ski.
Guys, thanks for having